Even if you watched every season, some of these faces will be unfamiliar to you. With their astounding makeovers that leave fans gasping, the 2025 90-Day Fiancé stars are hardly recognizable. These reality stars have altered in unexpected ways, from dramatic glow-ups and weight reduction to some complete makeovers. Who was more fit? Who went down? And who has a totally different appearance? Let's get started. Castro. Andre Castro made an immediate impression when he first appeared on 90-Day Fiancé. With his commanding presence and self-assurance, Andre, who was originally from Moldova, immediately won over admirers with his tough, athletic intensity on screen. As he adapted to life in the United States with his wife Elizabeth Potast, his early episodes showed him as a robust, physically fit man who obviously took pride in his strength and fitness. However, observers saw Andre's physical look change over time. American life, together with the demands of marriage, parenthood, and his once ripped body suffered as a result of negotiating complex family relationships on reality TV. Andre found himself straying from his strict exercise regimen, as is frequently the case with abrupt life changes. Exercise was often neglected due to the accessibility of fast food, lengthy production schedules, and the demands of parenting little children. The weight increased gradually but steadily. Fans of the franchise, who are renowned for their keen cast observations, took notice of Andre's weight gain. Members' changes. Social media and online forums were ablaze with comments on his bulkier frame. Some viewers were quick to criticize, while others sympathized, knowing the strain of juggling a small family with reality TV. During interviews, Andre himself mentioned the changes in passing, occasionally dismissing the discussion with his characteristic stoic bluster. He was obviously conscious of how far he had deviated from his initial fitness objectives, though. When Andre made the decision to regain control in 2023, everything changed. Of his well-being and appearance. He shocked admirers by stating in August of that year that he had lost an incredible 30 pounds in just 3 months. The change was dramatic. In his social media posts and public appearances, he appeared to have more vitality, a thinner face, and more erect posture. It was evident that he felt better in addition to looking better. His success was largely attributed to his renewed dedication to rigorous training regimens and kettlebell exercises. Rather than following fad diets or flashy workout regimens, Andre went back to what had previously kept him in peak condition. He prioritized mobility, strength training, and consistency. He chose kettlebells due to their adaptability and efficiency in burning fat and gaining muscle at the same time. Andre made it plain that although the trip wasn't simple, it was worthwhile. He stressed in interviews that the change was more than just a physical one. His sense of self-worth, emotional stability, and mental clarity all improved as he got back into shape. He wanted to set an example as a husband and parent, particularly for his small daughter. His increased commitment to health permeated other aspects of his life as well. Improved sleep, healthier diet, and a more acute awareness of his personal and professional objectives. Fans and cast members noticed right away. Supportive remarks flooded social media, with many praising his comeback as one of the franchise's most notable transformations. His before and after photos on Instagram received thousands of likes, and encouraged others to tell their own transformational tales. While some commended him for demonstrating that it's never too late to make changes, others valued his candor regarding the diligence and self-control required to get such outcomes. Andre didn't lose weight for selfish reasons. The goal was to take back control. He demonstrated that true transformation originates internally, and that, with perseverance and determination, fitness can serve as a strong stabilizing force during life's most trying times. His narrative struck a chord with those who had watched him change over several seasons of 90-Day Fiancé and its spin-offs, both physically and mentally. Andre's change provided a fresh perspective on him, even though he has always had his share of detractors, some of whom thought he was intrusive and others who doubted his professional goals. This was a man who had let himself go, acknowledged it, and took action. There was just time, work, and discipline. No shortcuts, no surgery, and no crash diet. Consequently, Andre not only restored his health while redefining his public persona. Mallet Tyra. Tyra Mallet was one of the most talked about cast members when he was first introduced to the audience on Before the 90 Days. not because of scandal or controversy, but rather because of his quiet strength and emotional fragility. One of the most tragic plot lines in the franchise's history was Tyrese's. A quiet California man thought he was in a 4-year internet romance with Carmela, but he later found out he had fallen prey to a vicious catfishing scam. It was awful when Tyra found out, on TV, no less. However, it also marked the start of a personal development that he would gradually but quietly pursue. The audience witnessed a man whose self-worth had been completely upended, struggling with heartbreak as well as the fears that had plagued him all of his life. Tyra has discussed his struggles with confidence, body image, and weight in interviews and confessionals. However, even in the midst of something changed in him as a result of the heartache and publicity, and fans would eventually witness the outcome. After a few months, a subtle change started to take place. Through his social media presence, rather than on television, Tyra started sharing pictures of herself with a notably healthier, thinner body without any publicity or hoopla. The baggy garments that used to seem to conceal him were gone. They were replaced by a taller man who smiled more broadly and radiated a new serene assurance. Even though Tay never revealed his weight loss in public, there was no denying the noticeable change in his appearance. His stance seemed more confident, his face more angular, and his waist much slimmer. Trey's metamorphosis was noteworthy since it wasn't shown as a body-seeking retribution or a reaction to online trolling. No commercial endorsements, no dramatic reality TV comeback speeches, and no viral gym selfies were there. His path seemed intensely personal, with a foundation in taking back authority over his life following a traumatic event. His devoted followers observed how he gradually changed his material to feature more uplifting quotes, tidbits of nutritious food, and exhortations for others to make modest changes in their lives. Tyra's path was never a spectacle. Although he didn't acknowledge a lot of his weight reduction in interviews or comments, long-standing supporters found a compelling narrative in the difference between his current images and his previous appearances. A man who had taken his suffering and gave it meaning. His honesty on the show had resonated with viewers, and now they had even more reason to respect him. Not because he was physically perfect, but rather because he was a living example of tenacity. Even more encouraging is the way his metamorphosis represented a change in his emotional health in addition to his physical changes. Tyra appeared more confident in himself, more involved with his supporters, and more upbeat in his attitude. The bashful man who had trouble believing he was deserving of love now exuded calm self-esteem. Erasing his past self was not the goal of his glow-up. The goal was to expand on it. Tyra is viewed by many fans as a representation of tenacity in the 90-Day Fiancé universe. He remained grounded, in contrast to many cast members who strive for recognition, drama, or glory. He refrained from embracing the spotlight of reality TV. He emphasized personal development. People who understand what it's like to be ignored, undervalued, or emotionally hurt and who work daily to regain their identity may find particular resonance in his experience. Strength. Comment sections are awash with compliments for Tyra's metamorphosis. Supporters praise his self-control, sincerity, and the poise with which he has responded to criticism. Some even attribute their own struggles with mental health or weight loss to him. In a series that frequently emphasizes healing, one fan wrote, "You were always lovable, Tyra, but now you shine with self-love." Another fan added, "You're proof that healing doesn't have to be loud. It just has to be real." Despite tumultuous relationships and excessive drama, Tyra's development is one of the most sincere and subtly potent storylines. He reminded viewers that not all transformations take place in front of the lens. The most significant improvements can occasionally be made quietly over time, without fanfare, merely with perseverance. Tyra is still posting occasionally as of late 2023, and she still appears to be happy, grounded, and healthy. Although it's uncertain if he'll be back for other 90-day spin-offs, his presence continues to have an impact on fans' hearts and on the internet. His experience serves as a kind yet sobering lesson. A fresh chapter can begin even after humiliation and loss. And sometimes that chapter starts with a quiet decision to shift rather than a big declaration. Wilkinson. Dempsey Wilkinson immediately won over fans when she made her debut on 90 Day Fiancé prior to the 90 days. Not just because of her kind, grounded demeanor but also because of the silent strength she demonstrated while negotiating the highs and lows of long-distance romance with Statler Riley, her American lover. Living in a converted off-grid van in the English countryside, Dempsey led a modest existence that reflected her ideals: independence, authenticity, and self-reliance. Behind the scenes, though, Dempsey was dealing with personal problems, such as body image problems, to which many viewers could identify. She looked assured while filming, but she later acknowledged that she had long struggled with self-esteem and weight changes. She never had an unhealthy appearance, but she didn't feel fully herself, and the strain of being on television just made her insecurities worse. She gradually came to the awareness that she needed to look after her mental and emotional health in addition to her physical looks. By the summer of 2023, Dempsey had started a significant change. She revealed to her supporters that she had dropped from a size 12 in the UK to an 8. It was a metamorphosis that went beyond simply changing her clothes. It marked the beginning of a new era. Instead of embracing drastic diets or flashy weight loss trends, Dempsey opted for a sustainable and well-rounded strategy that embraced mindful living, outdoor recreation, and wholesome food. Her way of life, which was already based on simplicity and a relationship with nature, was ideal for promoting holistic wellness. Although she didn't record every stage of her trip for the general world to see, the outcomes were evident. Her social media posts by the end of 2023 showed a refreshed appearance, toned arms, lighter skin, and a beaming smile, with a distinct sense of assurance. The slimmer figure wasn't the only thing that stood out about her change. Her expressions were filled with delight and a sense of liberation. The visual shift was further enhanced by her new hairdo, which included sun-kissed highlights and contemporary layers. Her more subdued natural looks from her early TV appearances was no longer there. It was replaced with a woman who was obviously happy with who she was becoming. Dempsey also updated her outfit, exchanging practical country attire and baggy flannels for stylish, customized attire that mirrored her increased self-confidence. As evidence that she was purposefully reinventing who she was, fashionable coats, eye-catching sunglasses, and elegant boots started to appear in her Instagram page. By 2025, original viewers could hardly recognize Dempsey. She moved fully into herself, not because she changed who she was. She did not undergo a performative or fame-driven metamorphosis. It was self-care focused, grounded, and considerate. The internet and fans both took note. On Reddit, where conversations about 90-day fiancés are intense and incisive, Dempsey's development was the focus of threads full of praise. Users commended her as one of the franchise's most authentic transformation stories, praising not only the visual enhancements but also the emotional fortitude and self-awareness that underlie them. She now appears so content with who she is. In a show full of comments, one Redditor wrote, "You can tell the glow-up came from the inside out." Another said, "In contrast to many celebrities who get caught up in the fame cycle, promoting fitness lines, sponsored detox teas, or cosmetic procedures, Dempsey chose authenticity. She didn't position herself as a brand. Instead, she just chose to live better, love herself more, and let the world know that you don't have to be loud or flashy to be inspiring." Dempsey stands out in the midst of drama and plastic surgery. Whether she is hiking through the British countryside or posing with her partner on a city break, her aura remains the same: grounded, glowing, and fully present. Singing Colchester. Fans instantly recognized Singon Colchester when he first appeared on 90 Day Fiancé. The most refreshing thing is that Dempsey has stayed true to her roots. She continues to share glimpses of her rural life, moments with animals, and nature walks, all while effortlessly blending wellness and style. Singon, who moved to the US to pursue a passionate and turbulent relationship with Tanya Maduro, gained notoriety for his carefree attitude, love of beer, and bohemian charm, and of course, his unmistakable long wavy hair. However, beneath the humor and long hair, Singon was battling more serious emotional and physical issues. During his seasons on 90 Day Fiancé and its spin-offs, Singon's easygoing demeanor, approach to life became a distinguishing feature. He loved cooking, drinking, and living impulsively, but as time passed, viewers realized the toll that lifestyle was taking. He opened up on the show about his difficulties with routine, commitment, and health. His weight fluctuated, and his once glowing complexion looked exhausted. Despite his charisma, Singin frequently looked out of sync with his own well-being. All of that started to change in early 2023, when he and Tanya made the audacious decision to travel through Southeast Asia with an extended stay in Thailand. The new setting, away from the drama of reality TV and the spotlight of their relationships, gave Singon the opportunity to start over. Amid tropical climates, nature, and a culture more focused on wellness, he quietly started a transformation that few fans anticipated. Over a few months, Singon lost about 17 pounds, along with a lot of the unhealthy baggage he had been carrying. This wasn't a crash diet or a celebrity cleanse. Sang simply cut back on processed foods, excessive drinking, and needless indulgences. He also adopted a more active lifestyle, hiking, beach workouts, and yoga. The most shocking change for longtime fans was when he decided to cut off his trademark long hair, which was a significant symbolic break from his past. For years, his flowing locks had been a fundamental part of his identity, but in Thailand, he chose a clean, cropped haircut that showed more than just his scalp because of the heat and humidity, which forced him to simplify. The cut revealed a sharp jawline, leaner features, and a confident, clear-eyed gaze, as if the haircut liberated him from the version of himself that fans had become accustomed to and revealed a new, self-assured man underneath. Images posted on social media in mid-2023 showed a changed Singing. Wearing loose-fitting clothing, he looked toned, energized, and remarkably different from Singin. Unlike some cast members who openly promote their glow-ups, didn't look for validation for his progress. Instead, he shared updates in passing, photos on a beach, a clip from a jungle trail, or a quiet moment of meditation, allowing fans to be amazed by the contrast between his barefoot beer and hand nomad audiences. His skin looked brighter, his smile wider, and his body more balanced, but most importantly, he exuded ease. Fans praised the change on Reddit and Instagram, saying things like, "Sing looks amazing, healthy, grounded, and finally in control." And, "I miss the hair, but this new look suits him." He wasn't advertising a product or personal brand, but rather just living a better life. "He's glowing in a manner I've never seen before." Many agreed that it was uncommon to witness a change that seemed so grounded in inside development as opposed to exterior progress. Despite the fact that he and Tanya had experienced a lot of emotional and practical difficulties during their 90-day stay, traveling together seemed to bring back a sense of camaraderie and mutual exploration. Whether romantic or platonic, their dynamic seemed to support the best versions of themselves. And Singin's health journey was proof that his relationship with Tanya, which had previously been rocky, seemed to change in tandem with his wellness journey. His transformation wasn't about fitting into a mold. Rather, it was about breaking free from old habits and finally finding a rhythm that matched his adventurous heart and evolving identity. Juliana Custodio. When Brazilian model and 90-day Fiancé star Juliana Custodio gave birth to her first child in July 2022, fans around the world celebrated the fact that he was almost unrecognizable to original viewers due to his leaner frame, freshly cut hair, and confident new energy. Joyful milestone. Juliana, who has always prioritized fitness and health due to her stunning beauty, elegance, and international modeling career, now faced a whole new challenge: adjusting to life as a new mom while trying to maintain her physical and emotional well-being. Juliana, who had always been honest with her fans, took to social media just days after giving birth to share the realities of postpartum life. Not to flaunt her body, but to share postpartum life. Instead of hiding or glamorizing her recovery, she offered a Then came a headline-grabbing update. Juliana revealed she had already lost 20 pounds within a week of giving birth. Her announcement stunned followers, but her tone was grounded and thoughtful. She didn't frame it as a race to snap back, but rather as a natural result of mindful choices, postpartum recovery, and the physical demands of early motherhood. It was a refreshingly honest glimpse into how her body was healing, how motherhood was changing her perspective, and how she was navigating the transition with grace and intention. Juliana attributed her early postpartum weight loss to a combination of factors, including her dedication to brisk workouts, breastfeeding, which naturally burns calories while supporting infant health, and hydration, which was crucial in flushing out excess water weight and helping her body recalibrate. She did not resort to drastic measures to achieve her rapid weight loss, but rather to light movement that kept her body engaged and energized. And fitness discipline, even in the hectic first days of new parenthood. 2 weeks after giving birth, Juliana made a comeback to Instagram fitness live streams, where viewers were astounded to see her doing strength-based exercises, stretching routines, and mild cardio exercises. Clad in sporty athleisure and frequently looking radiant and barefaced, she was the epitome of a strong, determined new mother taking back her space. Not just in the modeling industry, but in her own body. Her workouts weren't about. She talked about how fitness gave her a sense of control, pride, and peace as she juggled her new role as a mother. "It's not about being skinny," she shared in one live stream. "It's about being strong enough to take care of my baby and myself." Her followers, many of whom were other mothers, praised her openness and determination. They were about mental clarity, emotional balance, and reclaiming routine in the midst of sleepless nights and diaper changes. At the same time, Juliana didn't shy away from celebrating the progress her body made. By early 2023, Juliana had resumed many of her modeling engagements, posing in fashion campaigns and lifestyle shoots that showcased her toned figure and radiant skin, but also showed off her stretch marks and exhaustion. While celebrities glamorize postpartum life with filtered photos and unrealistic beauty standards, Juliana's approach felt raw, human, and encouraging. Her message is clear. Wellness doesn't stop when motherhood begins. Rather, it evolves. Now in 2025, Juliana continues to serve. Her maturity and self-assurance. Motherhood hadn't dulled her shine. It had deepened her presence, making her beauty more multidimensional and inspiring than ever. She regularly shares glimpses of her daily routine on Instagram, including meal preps full of lean proteins and greens, quick at-home workouts, walks with her baby, and the occasional self-care moment involving skincare or meditation. Whether through open Q&A sessions, motivational workout videos, or unfiltered mom life moments, Juliana remains incredibly relatable and endlessly inspiring. She is a wellness icon not only for her postpartum weight loss but also for changing the conversation around women's bodies after childbirth and reminding fans that every mother's journey is different and that fitness isn't a race to return to a number on a scale but rather a way of reconnecting with your power. Kim Mean's gay fiancé alum Kim Menzies has never shied away from vulnerability. Her emotional honesty and fierce loyalty made her a standout figure throughout the franchise, especially during her high-profile and frequently tense relationship with Nigerian musician Usman Soja Boy Umar, has cemented her place not just as a 90-day fiancé alum but also as a role model for women striving to love and care for their bodies during pregnancy, postpartum, and beyond. Kim was going through another more subdued change in her love life, one that was based on self-worth, self-control, and personal growth. By early March 2025, fans who kept a close eye on Kim on Instagram noticed that she had lost about 20 pounds. In a candid Instagram Q&A, she confirmed what many had suspected with a slimmer face, more tailored clothes, and more confident posture. The confession was informal, tucked into a story reply to a fan who asked if she'd. "Yeah, I've been trying to take better care of myself," she replied, adding a heart emoji, "and I've lost about 20 pounds. It's been hard work." Kim didn't go into great detail, including meal plans, morning workout routines, or sponsorship codes, but that only made it more intriguing. It was obvious that this wasn't a celebrity quick fix or a transformation driven by publicity. Rather, it was a very personal journey that she accomplished away from the spotlight, cameras, and hashtags. When Kim finally talked about her transformation, it wasn't with fanfare but with humility. She acknowledged the hard work involved and didn't pretend. While many reality stars document every step of their fitness journey, Kim's approach was private and understated. She didn't broadcast gym selfies or announce her goals. Instead, she let the results speak for themselves. This was what made Kim's weight loss so unexpected and widely praised. Fans showered her with praise in her Reddit threads and comment sections, saying, "It's literally unrecognizable in the best way." The change was evident in her photos, with side-by-sides shared by fan pages showing a more sculpted figure, a sharper jawline, and a glow that many described as radiant and empowered. Her skin looked healthier, her style more polished, and her smile more relaxed. Kim didn't just look smaller, she looked happier and more at peace with herself. The admiration wasn't just for the weight loss, but rather for the journey of self-respect that seemed to accompany it. During her time on 90 Day Fiancé, Kim was frequently depicted as pursuing love, sometimes at the expense of her own emotional needs. Her relationship with Usman brought out both her fiercest loyalty and her deepest insecurities. "She's finally putting herself first," another wrote. Although she hasn't disclosed the precise strategies that led to her success, observers surmise that Kim's transformation in 2025 likely resulted from mindful eating, stress management, and perhaps moderate exercise. All sustainable approaches for someone leading a busy life outside of the entertainment bubble. Many fans sympathized with her vulnerability, but they also wished she could see the value in herself beyond any relationship. Kim is still active on social media, but her posts now feel more centered. She shares selfies with glowing skin and new hairstyles, quotes about personal growth, and sweet moments with her adult son, Jamal, who is her constant source of support and pride. Her message to fans, whether she says it or not, is that her progress came from a place of self-care and healing rather than punishment or deprivation. It's evident that it's never too late to change. At 53, Kim is demonstrating that individuals who are prepared to stand up for themselves, assert their value, and work quietly, consistently, and for no one else but themselves can achieve wellness and transformation. Angela Deem's transformation has been one of the most notable and talked about physical changes in the 90-day Fiancé universe. She is well known for her fiery personality and extravagant lifestyle. Angela's journey wasn't just about dieting and exercise. It was the result of a deeply personal medical decision to take back control of her health. In early 2024, Angela underwent a series of procedures that included breast reduction, liposuction, and gastric sleeve surgery, where a significant portion of the stomach is surgically removed. During her on-screen appearance, Angela shocked viewers by revealing a staggering weight loss of over 100 pounds. The surgery was a wake-up call for Angela, who was once well over 270 pounds, to prioritize longevity and well-being, especially after receiving warnings from doctors about the long-term consequences of obesity. Although the procedures weren't without controversy, many questioned whether Angela's fiery temperament and frequently tumultuous relationship with Nigerian people was a result of her years of struggling with her weight, mobility issues, and the toll that constant fatigue and chronic pain had taken on her everyday life. She shocked critics with a newfound discipline. Angela started posting updates on Instagram and TikTok, showing fans a woman gradually becoming more comfortable in her new skin. Her distinctive raspy voice and uncensored opinions stayed the same, but her posture, energy levels, and wardrobe told a different story. Tight dresses took the place of baggy t-shirts, bold makeup reappeared, and she proudly displayed a slimmer, reshaped figure that no longer concealed behind deflection or self-deprecating humor. The liposuction further refined her body, eliminating stubborn fat deposits that had not moved even after the initial weight loss. When combined with the breast reduction, which Angela publicly praised for reducing her chronic back pain and improving her posture, the combined effect was remarkable. Images taken in early 2024 showed a noticeably lighter Angela walking around in Los Angeles with a sharper jawline, glowing skin, and a level of physical mobility that had not been seen before. Angela will probably always be a divisive figure, admired by some for her direct honesty and criticized by others for her temper. But her weight loss journey has added a layer of vulnerability and relatability to her public persona. She even mentioned in interviews that on the show for the first time in over 10 years, she could walk long distances without needing to sit down every few minutes or catch her breath. Angela's followers, particularly women in their 50s and 60s, have found her journey relatable and empowering. She frequently emphasizes that it wasn't about achieving perfection, but reclaiming comfort in her body and proving that it's never too late to make a change. Her self-esteem had eroded over the years, and she had internalized public criticism about her appearance to a great extent. "I did it for me," she told followers in a live stream. "Not for TV, not for Michael. I wanted to look in the mirror and feel good again." Life-altering change. She has also discussed the realities of life after surgery, including scarring, skin-tightening procedures, and the need to maintain healthy eating habits and portion control. By mid-2025, Angela's social media presence had fully embraced her glow-up era, dancing in reels, posing confidently in swimsuits, and celebrating milestone after milestone, such as being able to keep up with her grandchildren without running out of clothes or fitting into a size she hadn't worn since her 30s. Of steam, but perhaps most significantly, she began to advocate for women's health in ways that were more personal than performative. In one candid Instagram post, she urged, "If you feel like you're drowning in your body, don't wait until it's too late." While Angela D's physical metamorphosis may have garnered media attention, the underlying narrative is one of resiliency, self-healing, and reinvention. Regardless of whether she is adored or despised, her path has turn into one of the 90-Day Fiancé series' most memorable storylines. How do you feel about the 2025 90-Day Fiancé stars? Please share your thoughts in the space provided below.